The three of us just looked at Clive like, if you have us arrested, we are gonna F you up for real. Like, don't arrest.
The record company, Clive Davis, we held them hostage like guns, the whole shebang. So, of course, Lisa was the ringleader. So we went up there and held everybody hostage, and Puffy was the one that snitched us out. $75 million was generated on that album. We didn't really get any.
For true music fans, TLC wouldn't be the same without Rosanda Chili Thomas. However, there was a time when her place in the group was uncertain. "I'm the mama of the group," Chili tells people in this week's issue. She opens up ahead of Lifetime's new documentary, TLC Forever, which explores the iconic girl group's meteoric rise and complex history. The title supposedly reflected the unique personalities of each band member. Lisa Left Eye Lopes brought the wild energy, recording her vocals on day release from court-mandated rehab after burning down her boyfriend's house in a fit of jealousy. Tian T-Boz Watkins, with her laid-back demeanor and raspy vocals, exuded effortless cool, while Rosanda Chili Thomas, for the sake of this anecdote, was the one. She also had an incredible voice and plenty of attitude.
Also known as a buster, always talking about what he wants and just
Fueled by hit singles Creep and Waterfalls, the album became the first by a girl group to achieve diamond status in the US, representing 10 million sales. Globally, only the Spice Girls album Spice has sold more. To mark the record's anniversary, the band has announced a one-off show at London's Shepherd's Bush Empire. Chili recently spoke with the BBC about the making of the album and how they ended up filing for bankruptcy after its release. Interestingly, although the song Kick Your Game incorporates the phrase crazy cool in its lyrics, the album's title was decided upon before the project even began. "We went in letting producers know that this was the name, and that's how the album should sound," Chili explained. "Crazy Cool was our version of I'm Every Woman. Every woman has a crazy, a or a cool side. You can be all three, but one is definitely more prominent than the others. So, what's the dominant characteristic for her?" "Aha," she exclaims with a hearty laugh. "It depends on the day. The crazy might be the more dominant one at times, but cool or I don't know. It just depends." TLC's signature song is a socially conscious ballad that tackles addiction and the HIV epidemic, making it the first #1 single to mention the disease. The song changed people's perception of the band and earned them 2 Grammy nominations and MTV's Video of the Year award. With its intricately woven harmonies and rubber band bass line, the track showcased the band's growing confidence in the studio. "We were just beginning to understand how our vocals meshed together, with T-Boz's scratchy voice, my high notes, and Lisa's rapping," she says. "It didn't matter what type of song it was. Once our voices got on there, it became a TLC record." And what does "Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls" actually mean? Anything that's self-destructive, that's chasing a waterfall. Making the album was a lot of fun. We didn't feel the pressure of the second album, Jinx. We were just excited to be in the studio coming up with new material, says Chili. "And I remember when we were done, a guy at Arista Records said, 'It's a great album, and you guys will probably sell a couple of million.' We were like, 'A couple of million? We're going to sell 5 million at least.'" Chili explained that the band didn't view their confidence in the album as arrogance. They just knew it was special. She described it as one of those rare projects where listeners wouldn't want to skip any tracks. She mentioned that their cover of Prince's single "If I Was Your Girlfriend" stayed close to the original, though it lacked the complexities of Prince's version. The reason for their careful approach was that Prince himself wanted to hear the finished version before giving his approval. Chili recalled how significant it was that Prince even allowed the cover, as he rarely approved others to cover his songs. When he gave them the green light, they were ecstatic and focused on ensuring he would be pleased with their rendition. Prince ultimately loved their version, despite their voices being quite different from his, particularly Tian's scratchy voice.
"Oh Lord, if I turn around." And Prince is on stage, and I forgot the words. I went totally childlike. I forgot I was supposed to be.
Chili also recounted an incident from their promotional activities for the album. During an interview with Vibe magazine, it was the first time they had met the press since Lisa Lopes had burned down the house of her football-playing partner, Andre Rison. Chili recalled seeing the wardrobe provided for the shoot, which included police and fireman uniforms. She didn't immediately realize the implications and thought the fireman uniforms were cool. However, the cover of the magazine featured the headline, "TLC, burning up the charts and burning down the house," referencing Lope's past actions. This caught the attention of the judge overseeing Lope's probation, making it seem like the band was being nonchalant about the serious situation. Chili admitted they hadn't realized the connotations until the magazine was published, and then they realized they were in trouble. Chili's role as the nurturing figure of TLC alongside Tion T-Boz Watkins and the late Lisa Left Eye Lopes wasn't always a given. Back in the early 90s, she was a dancer for LaFace Records' first group, Damian Dame. At that time, TLC, named after original members Tyon, Lisa, and Crystal Jones, was looking for a replacement for Jones. Chili, a nickname given by Lopes to fit their moniker, auditioned for the group with En Vogue's hit Hold On in 1991. "Oh, she's pretty," Chili recalls Watkins remarking dryly after her audition. That same night, they put on a showcase and the chemistry was immediate, Chili remembers. Thus, a boundary-breaking girl group was born, known for their edgy, positive lyrics, outlandish style, and a unique mix of rap, pop, and R&B that captivated countless fans. In the beginning, people recognized Tion and Lisa more, Chili reflects. However, she soon caught the eye of LaFace producer Dallas Austin. They began a relationship in the mid-90s and had a son, Tron, now 25. When TLC's manager, Louisiana, Reed's then-wife Pebbles, found out about their relationship, Chili's spot in the group was jeopardized. "They were holding auditions to replace me but never saw anybody that they liked," she says. "I don't think anybody cared about the Dallas thing but Pebbles." It wasn't the first disagreement the group, known for hits like Waterfalls and No Scrubs, had with management. After the runaway success of their 1994 album Crazy Cool, TLC faced a financial crisis, filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy despite having earned an estimated $175 million. "We're as broke can be," Chili famously told the press at the 1996 Grammys, moments after winning 2 awards. The trio's financial troubles stemmed from bad contracts that didn't compensate them fairly for album sales, and from lavish gifts their manager claimed were from the label, but were actually charged to the band. "When money came in, we were splitting like $5,000, Chili explains. Their frustration peaked to the point where, as Chili recalls, "We're the reason LaFace parent company Arista Records first got security." The group essentially held Clive Davis, the head of Arista Records, to account, demanding, "You're the head guy. How do we fix this?" This bold move led to a multi-million-dollar lawsuit settlement with LaFace later that year, resulting in a more equitable contract. These financial and management battles brought the group closer, yet they still faced internal conflicts. One notable incident was when Lisa Left Eye Lopes burned down the $1.3 million home of her then-boyfriend, football star Andre Rison. Tion called and said, "Turn on Channel 5, recalls Chili. "I was like, Tion, we're just gonna have to find another group member. I told Lisa I said that. I was mad." Despite these intense moments, the bond between Chili, T-Boz, and Left Eye proved resilient, allowing them to navigate both personal and professional challenges and solidify their place in music history. Lisa Left Eye Lopes continued to make headlines until her untimely death at age 30 in a car crash while on a spiritual retreat in Honduras. "I miss her every day," says Chili. "I often wonder what things would have been like if she was still here." One thing Chili is certain of is that Lopes would still be making waves. "Boy, I'm telling you, people would be so entertained," Chili says with a laugh. "She was always like, all news is good news." That's how she felt. She would have more followers than Selena Gomez. Chili and Tion T-Boz Watkins, who are headlining the Hot Summer Nights tour with Shaggy through July, never replaced Lopes after her death in 2002. The tragedy strengthened their bond, making it unbreakable. "We've already lost one sister. We have to grow old together," Chili tells Watkins in an emotional scene from the new documentary. "After all they've been through, that's my family," says Chili. "We're for life." Famously, TLC filed for bankruptcy shortly after releasing Crazy Cool. T-Boz revealed that while the record might have generated $75 million for their record company, each band member received only $50,000. Frustrated by the conflicting information about who controlled their payments, the trio decided to take matters into their own hands by confronting Clive Davis, then president of Arista Records, directly. Hollywood is known for its hidden secrets and strange scandals, but the music industry often takes the spotlight with its ongoing series of shocking controversies. Now, industry legend and record producer Clive Davis is finding himself caught in the midst of it all.
Clive Davis, saved Puff after he was thrown out of.
On one side of the spectrum, many view Clive Davis as a revered and accomplished producer, renowned for nurturing a diverse range of artists and crafting musical hits that have left an indelible mark on the industry. His legacy and practices have solidified his reputation as a key figure in shaping the music landscape.
Consistent with what you're writing about, you could go from one side of the stage to the other.
However, in the shadows, there exists a contrasting perception. Some voices suggest a different narrative, portraying Davis as a man with a more complex and controversial persona. These critics label him as one of the first keepers of the industry, allegedly exerting influence through manipulation and a calculated demeanor. Such claims paint a picture of a cold-blooded operator who wields power behind the scenes, orchestrating moves that go beyond the public eye.
He needed her back, but he needed her back and under his control.
In the intricate tapestry of the music world, Clive Davis stands as both a celebrated legend and a figure shrouded in speculative whispers, embodying the duality that often characterizes the entertainment realm. It was mainly due to the fact that he allegedly mentored Diddy.
Most likely because he was victimized by his mentor, who loved to control people.
Diddy is a name that resonates deeply in the music world, celebrated as a prolific record producer and influential label owner. His imprint, Bad Boy Records, stands as a powerhouse that has nurtured iconic talents like the Notorious Big and Usher.
My career reminded them of Kane, how I came out hard and strong at the time, which is all good, but I'm just trying to stay above water.
Yet behind this illustrious facade lies a curious inquiry into the rapid ascent of his company. Jaguar Wright, a notable musician, delves into the enigmatic sway Diddy holds over the music landscape and the substantial riches that have come his way.
Puff be moving around, but he got that catalog. He got that catalog and he's been making money off of it, and that big old mansion down the street.
What propelled a 23-year-old emerging star to the zenith of the music industry in an astonishingly brief span? The key might rest in his intimate connection with a prominent music figure, Clive Davis. While Clive has garnered acclaim for his musical productions, he now finds himself at the center of conversations surrounding his romantic endeavors. Following 2 marriages and subsequent divorces, Clive embarked on a voyage of self-discovery, exploring the possibility of being attracted to men as well.
That I opened myself up after the failure of my second marriage, having read something about bisexuality.
Through this period of self-reflection, Clive reached the revelation that his SO was not exclusively HS, a stark departure from his convictions during the initial 5 decades of his life.
Opened myself up to the possibility of a relationship based on the person and not on gender.
In his recently published book, The Soundtrack of My Life, Davis recounts that his initial experience of engaging in a S encounter with a man took place during the Studio 54 Inches era, a period when he was married to his second spouse, Janet Adelberg. On this night, after imbibing enough alcohol, I was open to responding to his S overtures, Davis wrote. Was I nervous? Absolutely. Did the heavens open up? No, but it was satisfying. The experience prompted a period of soul-searching and self-analysis. Following his separation from Adelberg in 1985, Davis entered into relationships with individuals of various genders. From 1990 onward, he has been involved in 2 enduring relationships, both with male partners. You don't have to be only one thing or another, Davis said in an interview with U.S. chat show host Katie Couric. I opened myself up to the possibility that I could have a relationship with a man as well as the 2 that I had with a woman. In another chat with Nightline, Davis complained that BIS is maligned and misunderstood. For over 50 years, I never had S with a male, he said. It wasn't repressed. I had very good S relationships with women. Clive said that he is not ashamed of his SO. He said, but I never stopped being attracted to women. BIS is misunderstood. The adage is that you're either straight or lying, but that's not my experience. To call me anything other than BIS would be inaccurate. Later on, Clive established a dedicated partnership with another man, and this bond endures to the present day. Following years of uncertainty, several sources within the industry have claimed that Diddy is apparently the individual in question, holding the position of Clive's significant other.
To know the truth of the matter, they was the one putting the money behind the engine of Bad Boy until Puff could get up there to Clive Davis. You know what I'm saying? What Andre Harrell didn't do.
Speculation regarding the trajectory of Diddy's music career has endured over time. Presently, it is allegedly revealed that the 2 shared a romantic involvement spanning 5 years. Clive has openly acknowledged his companion's presence at various gatherings and their shared travels, yet he has chosen not to reveal the individual's identity. Nonetheless, it has become progressively evident via some reports that Diddy is the artist most frequently spotted accompanying Clive at public functions, often appearing at the same events.
4 or 5 year period of time, interregnum, entered into a relationship with a man. And I just revealed.
While not conclusively conclusive, the visible openness of both Clive and Diddy about their SO, combined with their frequent appearances together at social gatherings, strongly hints at a meaningful link between them. Some reports suggest that the intimate rapport between Diddy and Clive may have been firmly established throughout the years. Come to think of it, the time period is long because Clive has been working with Diddy since Bad Boy Records.
For inventing Diddy. Ugh. For that. For letting that out of control whack whoremonger and sodomite just run rampant.
It is noteworthy that Clive has been engaged in a committed relationship with a man during this period, while Diddy has encountered allegations of keeping his own orientation private. Considering these circumstances, the insider's notion of a romantic link between the two appears quite conceivable. Moreover, Clive has displayed transparency regarding his and partnerships, refraining from refuting these speculations, which in turn lends weight to their credibility. Diddy, too, has chosen to remain silent on the subject. Diddy's journey intersected with Clive's when he was a 23-year-old aspiring artist aiming to make his mark in the competitive music industry. His innovative hip-hop concepts managed to captivate the renowned Clive, who was on the lookout for an artist capable of forging a genuine connection with the audience. Recalling their first meeting, Clive has shared that he discovered exactly what he was in search of within Diddy. Puffy was 23 years old, and I knew the artists that I had. Aretha, Dion, Whitney was one kind of music, Davis says. LaFace ushered in blue-collared R&B at its height. But sensing the hip-hop revolution, both LA and I agreed that we could use someone really attuned to the street. You gotta know what you can do for yourself, and you gotta know when you need to look to other people. During that time frame, Diddy was working under Andre Harali at Uptown Records. However, encountering Clive Davis marked a turning point in his career, as his impactful words left a lasting impression on the music mogul, a moment that Clive himself vividly recalls. When I met with Puffy, he articulated that hip-hop should be part of the top 40 mainstream, and that the business would change in the future. He continues, and I said, "What have you got to illustrate that point?" And he played me Craig Mack's Flava in Your Ear, and he played me the then unknown artist that he felt and believed so strongly. He played me 4 or 5 cuts from Notorious Big. Diddy's words held such compelling force that they persuaded Clive, who quickly conveyed his approval, acknowledging that Diddy had effectively communicated his vision. Evident from their actions and numerous reports, the gender orientation of both figures were quite questionable and ultimately sparked the rumor that Clive has been controlling and manipulating Diddy.
Decided to get on your knees and beg the demon for some bread, and all he gave you was crumbs. That's all he ever really gives anybody. Whatever millions Puff has put into somebody's pocket.
Due to this, many also believe that due to Clive's Diddy has developed quadruple polar, multiple personalities disorder, and might be due to his alleged personality disorders, he may have been indulged in some evil works. As Sean Combs ventured deeper into the music industry, he entered a transformative realm that shaped him in unexpected ways. Mingling with influential titans whose strategies were both revealing and manipulative, Sean found himself being and molded. These industry magnates saw untapped potential in him and nurtured it, fueling its growth until it became something formidable, even intimidating. The accolades were enticing. Magazines praised his every move, TV programs hailed him as a visionary, and radio hosts echoed his words to the masses. Sean Combs transcended mere celebrity. He became a phenomenon, satisfying the world's insatiable hunger for more of him. However, allegations soon emerged that cast a shadow over his empire. Lil Rod, also known as Rodney Jones Jr., aired grievances in a federal court complaint filed in New York, accusing Diddy of being forceful and demanding, involving him in questionable activities with escorts and subjecting him to unwanted touching. According to Lil Rod's claims, Diddy presided over a world of excess, filled with money, power moves, and dubious dealings. He alleges potential misconduct, humiliation, and being shortchanged over $50,000 for his work on the Love record released on September 15, 2023. Diddy seems unable to escape these legal storms that continue to swirl around him.
The new allegations against Sean Diddy Combs, a music producer, is accusing hip-hop mogul of him and forcing him to have with
Clive Davis holds immense power within the music industry, standing out as one of its most influential figures. His track record speaks volumes, particularly when he launched Arista Records, where he successfully signed a multitude of major black acts. The list of artists he brought on board is impressive, including Patti Smith, The Outlaws, Eric Carmen, Exposé, Ace of Base, Air Supply, Dionne Warwick, Ray Parker, and Radio, Aretha Franklin, and Alicia Keys. Davis played a pivotal role in giving Puffy his initial opportunity to establish Bad Boy Records, but his greatest success came when he discovered Whitney Houston.
My spending time with her when the picture was inescapable. There were 2 times, one live, where she came to my home, where we had a personal...
Astounded by Houston's extraordinary singing talent and her image as an all-American sweetheart, Clive seized the chance to propel her into megastardom. This move not only greatly benefited Whitney, but also significantly boosted Clive Davis's net worth, reportedly reaching close to $800 million. However, as Whitney Houston navigated the complexities of the music industry, she, like many others, began to observe peculiar and unsettling occurrences. In her 2002 interview with Diane Sawyer, she candidly addressed the challenges she faced and the demons she battled, shedding light on the darker aspects of the industry. Whitney at times looked uneasy, uncomfortable, and at many times cautious within every word she spoke, and even spoke that she herself was possessed with an inner devil whom was controlling her.
It was rough. I think I kind of reverted back as I got older and said, well, I'm just gonna party, you know? It was kind of a rebel in me.
She brought up her dispute with Clive Davis and a potential conspiracy to harm her in the course of that interview. In divulging numerous industry secrets, she unwittingly made herself a target. Exploiting her vulnerabilities and past struggles with addiction, they aimed to undermine her credibility and ensure that the public didn't take her revelations seriously. The unexpected and shocking news of her demise occurred at a time when no one anticipated such a tragedy, especially given the circumstances surrounding it. It was a sorrowful twist of fate that profoundly impacted the music world. Tragically, the entertainment industry has witnessed numerous instances where artists, immersed in the demanding nature of their work, succumb to the scourge of DA. Whitney Houston was no exception. Her ongoing battle with DA and smoking, coupled with deteriorating health, cast a shadow over her entire career until it reached an irreversible tipping point.
It's my deciding. It's my heart. It's what I want and what I don't want. Nobody makes me do anything I don't want to do.
The unfortunate turn of events occurred on February 11th, 2012, the day before the scheduled Grammy Awards. On that day, the music industry luminaries gathered in Los Angeles for the Grammys, and Whitney Houston, accompanied by her family and friends, checked into the Beverly Hilton Hotel. A tradition preceding the Grammys was Clive Davis, Houston's mentor, hosting a pre-Grammy party. As preparations for the evening's festivities were underway, Houston's assistant, Mary Jones, arranged her dress on the bed and then left the room. What transpired during the brief period Jones was away, leading to the discovery of Houston unconscious and submerged face down in a water-filled bathtub upon her return, remained a mystery until the coroner's report provided insights. Tragically, Houston was pronounced dead at 3:55 p.m. on the same day at the scene.
Yes, good morning, George. It happened here at 3:43 yesterday afternoon when a member of Houston's entourage located her body inside this hotel. So far, police and the coroner are refusing.
Regarding speculations surrounding Diddy and Clive Davis's connection to her death, reports gained traction when Clive himself admitted to being the only one with Houston in her final moments. Many people believe that Clive is the one who put her on D. And given Clive's history, it is no secret how he has been in the headlines for D dealings. According to the civil suit filed against Mr. Davis, evidence surfaced suggesting that Mr. Winshaw had allegedly misused the company's funds. But there is a long-standing story behind all this respect, and this can be understood through Jaguar Wright. In her revelatory interview, where she openly criticized several members of the Hollywood elite for their dubious and occultic practices, Jaguar Wright disclosed a shocking claim that Diddy and Clive is involved in tea for Hollywood elites. This assertion may initially seem weighty and perhaps too extreme to be entirely accurate. So many people believe that apart from financial issues, this may be why they decided to make their boss hostage. One person wrote, "This is not the first time that I have heard of Clive, that people has said that he was responsible for someone's life. I remember the great Phyllis Hyman supposedly committed he tried to her musical career because he couldn't control her." Another one added, "I think that it's too much of a coincidence that Clive Davis is somehow connected / intermingled / intertwined with every celebrity musician that had an issue with money, and him supposedly stealing from them who have died in some crazy freak accident. I'm just not getting the Kobe plus connection." Many fans believe the scene depicting this confrontation in the 2013 movie about their career had been exaggerated or fabricated. However, Chili clarified that it was not fiction at all, all, laughing as she admitted it was actually toned down for TV. Chili recounted that they were furious because they couldn't understand how they were selling so many records but had nothing to show for it. Determined to get answers, they decided to go straight to the source. They brought along some intimidating women Lisa had met at the diversion center. These women were stationed outside and inside Davis's office, ensuring no one could enter or leave without their permission. Reflecting on the incident, Chili remarked that it felt like a real movie and admitted that, in hindsight, she wondered what they were thinking. However, at the time, they felt they had nothing to lose. That's it for today. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.